I think you should absolutely go after what excites you, but I'm not gonna lie, it's hard.
You're just such an inspiration to me. I've been watching your videos. Thank you so much.
So much love from Mexico. You guys are so sweet.
Hi Kylie, it's Thibaut from France. The last video on introvert people made me feel really happy to be like I am, so thank you a lot.
The type of lifestyle that is not only one that will be pleasurable for you, but also the one that is the most tailored to who you are, like your skill set and your weaknesses and strengths.
Tell us, is there someone special in your life that you want to grow old with?
Trucker Steve, you got the best Instagram for sure. Thank you, Trucker Steve. Really means a lot to me.
I've been staying with my parents in Australia because I'm waiting for a visa to process, and we have this rule in my family: no one gets breakfast until you've done yoga or been for a run or a cycle and had a swim in the ocean. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back and answer your questions about going after a dream, making money, filmmaking, travel, moving to a foreign country, all of these things. You asked some really good questions, so stay with me. Stay with me? What? Stay with me. That's not a good sign out. So, yeah, keep watching.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Renee J 101. Who are you, Renee J? Challenging my comfort zone, traveler's mind, body, soul. My gosh, I feel so lucky. I am just connected with the kindest, most positive people in the world. This is, Renee says, how did you begin this journey? What are the first steps someone needs to take to create their ideal life? You're my motivation, thank you. Oh my gosh, so sweet. Okay, I just ate my own weight in chickpeas and now I'm ready to answer. Nothing really momentous is going to happen just in your head. You have to take it out of your head and bring it into the real world. And the first step to do that is getting a pen and paper and writing it down. Write down not just like what your dreams are, okay? You need to be really specific and go into how you want your life to feel. So little things like consider, am I a morning person? Am I a night person? When am I most productive? Like what time of day do you come alive? Okay, do you really feel energized? And then like you can slowly start to piece together the type of lifestyle that is not only one that will be pleasurable for you, but also the one that is the most tailored to who you are, like your skill set and your weaknesses and strengths. For example, you can think, I love to cook, I should open a restaurant. But if you open a restaurant, how much time are you actually going to spend cooking? You know, because actually probably what's going to happen is you're going to be managing it. So you will spend less time in the kitchen than ever before. Or for example, you know, yes, you love to cook, but do you love to like bake at 10, 11 in the morning when the sunlight's streaming in and you have music playing and you have friends over? The reality is if you are running a restaurant, you're really probably going to be working at nighttime. So if you're not a night person, if you can't stand coming home at 4 in the morning after working all night and not seeing friends, and then that's not going to work out for you. Fortunately, today we can access people who are living our dream lifestyle or doing the career we would like to be doing, and you can, if they're honest, which not everyone is, you can follow their days and really see, okay, this is the reality of their life, and you know, look at them, they're posting at 4 a.m. So actually it's not as, it's a little bit more stressful than it might appear, or you know, they're not posting as much with friends because they don't have time for a social life. Consider all aspects of a career, and not just like, okay, what do they do when they're working, but how does their work impact other areas of their life. And I just thought we'd come down to the beach. I just received the just sweetest video from Thibaut. Is that, how do you pronounce it, in France?
Hi Kylie, it's Thibaut from France. Thank you a lot for your inspirational content. And I was wondering, when you started as an independent, that's hard to say, independent filmmaker, how did you do financially? Because at the beginning you don't really have customers, so yeah, how did you do? You had like kind of a part-time job, or yeah, how did you do? So thank you and have a nice day, Kylie.
Oh
my gosh, I think this is a very good question. Thank you so much for your video. Your English is amazing and your pronunciation. Yes, I had lots of part-time jobs. So I was freelance writing as a journalist for places all around the world. And then I was also teaching English. Basically, if you're looking at YouTube, yeah, I mean, brands will pay to have you feature their product, or maybe they'll pay to fly you out places, but they won't do that unless you have numbers. And I've been really lucky because I certainly don't have the numbers, but I pitched them like crazy, and really, I might do a video on that actually. If you let me know in the comments below if you're interested in knowing some tips on how to pitch brands for any type of business, then let me know and I'll make a video about it. But yeah, I think it's really tough because if you don't have those numbers, then you can't even monetize it really. A lot of people keep saying for me to monetize my videos, but I'm not getting the views to make it worthwhile. I mean, even it's like only people who are really getting up around like the 1 million mark are actually making anything that they could live off. I think if you have filmmaking and editing skills, then there are a lot of people out there, a lot of businesses who could use your skills, and it's not necessarily some great exciting gig like traveling, but it does help pay the bills, and that's what I've done. Whoa, okay, it's raining, it's really raining. Ah! Divo, I just checked out your Instagram account and you're so talented. I would suggest checking out freelancer.com because they have so many different jobs segmented by industry, and there are remote jobs and location jobs for video editors or filmmakers. Your question, I mean, it kind of relates to this girl, Krupali Perek, and she asked, Kylie, how long did it take for your dream to become a reality, and how are you able to travel the world as part of your job? Lots of love, heart, heart, heart. And then also Corazon de Mexico asked, have you always wanted to travel and film? So try and answer them both. I've always known that I wanted to be a storyteller from when I was about 5 years old. My first goal was to become a published journalist and magazine editor, and then about 8 years ago I moved into becoming a host and filmmaker, which fundamentally is still being a storyteller, and I still haven't made it 8 years on. So I think you've got to commit at least 6 years to a dream, because you need time to get traction, to develop your skills, to find your voice, also to put your business or your concept or your work out into the marketplace, receive feedback, and then evolve accordingly. And that takes a while.
I think you've got to find that balance between doing things which can bring in some money and doing things which make your heart sing and soar. I think you should absolutely go after what excites you, but I'm not gonna lie, it's hard, and just please remember that you will have to make sacrifices, and if you have financial instability, it can be very stressful, and if you don't have the temperament for it, it's a disaster, because you're worried about things like getting sick. I was worried about getting sick because I couldn't afford to go to the doctor. I remember I was so sick. It was 4 a.m. in Rome, and I wasn't sure how to get to the hospital, right? Because I didn't know if I'd have enough money for the taxi. And I ended up getting myself out the door. I was just in my nightie, like in my pajamas, and I just stumbled out into the piazza, found this taxi driver, and he ended up carrying me into the hospital. But it's not fun. Like being that vulnerable financially is really hard, and the whole reason you're pursuing this is so that you can focus on your passion, but that passion can be eclipsed by the anxiety that you feel in not knowing if you can take care of yourself or pay your bills. I like juggling a lot of things, and I'm not a very anxious person by nature, so it's okay for me, but I really don't want to give you the wrong impression that it's just hey, once you're following your passion, everything falls into place. It doesn't. Usually everything just falls apart, and you've got to like put yourself back together again, and hope that your passion is strong enough to give you that strength.
For me, I have just committed. I'm not going to give up on this, even though it is taking longer than I thought, because I find the work just when I'm alone by myself so fulfilling. I find the connection with you guys so rewarding, and I have just accepted that I'm going to have to work twice as hard as I did when I was employed by a company, and I'm going to have to sacrifice having like a social life or a lot of free time. One of the things that I've learned with all the goals I've set myself is that when you have a dream, the steps that you take to arrive at that dream are not going to resemble the dream at all. So you really need to divorce yourself from that sort of very limited vision. For example, if you want to be a travel filmmaker, get your mind out of travel, because that's not always going to be where the opportunity is to either make some income or find experience or contacts. An example is, I had this dream of running a magazine, and my vision was to be writing feature articles, opinion pieces, really intellectually stimulating interviews, and my first job as a magazine editor was of a magazine called Ships and Shipping. Do you know what this was about? It was about tankers. I was writing about cargo ships that transported boxes across the ocean. Really dry topics. I mean, there are some articles about barnacles and anti-foul. Not exactly what I had in mind, but I remember the day I got that job, I said to myself, I'm not just going to treat this as something to get over and done with and get on my CV. I am going to become the best damn tanker magazine editor there ever was. And in this way, you get a reputation for having a good work ethic, you make a lot of contacts, you get experience because you're just committed to the experience instead of just watching the clock. And that's what I found has worked for me, and that led me then to my next magazine editor job, which was really fulfilling. Doug247, I like the hat, asks, when is the DJI video you were featured in scheduled to be released? This month. I think maybe even next week. I'm so excited about it. Basically, DJI, the drone company, flew me out to make an ad about me and the Mavic Pro, and it's just going to be short, but it's so epic because they filmed it on the Inspire, the Ronin, a Red camera, the Mavic, and just a 30-person crew. So I'm very excited about seeing the finished result. This next question comes from a girl who is just adorable, who wrote me this big long email that she obviously put a lot of thought into, and it was quite a while ago, and she was asking if she could intern for me, right, in Italy. And do you know what? I've been so busy. I read it, but I was so busy I didn't get a chance to respond, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be in Florence, and it was, you know, my life was up in the air. So I just, for many reasons, I didn't get back to her. And instead of thinking like, oh, I tried that and it failed, she just tries again and goes to the trouble of sending me a video. And I really appreciate that. And I am actually going to get in contact with you.
Hi Kylie, my name's Bella. I live in Boston, Massachusetts right now, but I will be living and studying for the next 4 years global marketing in Florence, Italy. My question to you is, if by any chance you were planning on living in Florence, Italy next year, would you need any unpaid interns or help or anyone to even like get your coffee for you or just anything? I don't know if this is the kind of question you wanted us to go for, but this is my question. I thought, why not? You're just such an inspiration to me. I've been watching your videos ever since I decided I'd be living in Italy for the next 4 years. If there's any way I could just learn from you in any form, whether I'm carrying something for you, getting coffee, any of that. So this is just my question. I don't know if it was right, but there it is. Thank you so much. You're such an inspiration again.
Calligraphy. Good morning, ever so inspiring Kylie Flavel. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's like put this little emoji, you know, the one that goes like this. Ooh. Tell us, is there someone special in your life that you want to grow old with? Lots of love from the Netherlands, Kelly. Well, that's a bit of a personal question. Unfortunately, there isn't anyone in my life at the moment who I want to grow old with. I hope I meet that person someday. I have just come out of a very serious relationship, one that I hoped would be forever, someone I hoped that I would grow old with, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So yeah, I hope that I'm lucky enough to meet someone who I can do that with. You know, as much as I'm a romantic, I don't fall in love easily. It takes a lot to really make me fall. Okay, I'm talking far too much and I should let you go. Thank you for watching. Please leave me a comment, because you must know by now that I actually read every single one and I answer everyone. So I'll write back to you, I promise. Okay, good night.